Alrighty, so it is 8 o'clock on Saturday, July 23rd, and Robert and I are in the Wegmans parking lot because we had to get some snacks. Anyway, we're on our way to south of the border to get gas.
Merpin.
Robert's gonna sleep because he pulled a nighter last night for no apparent reason.
Yep. You know how it is. So for a first time on this channel, I'm actually in the passenger seat travel vlogging while Linnea drives. We're about 6 miles out of my least favorite state in the country, South Carolina, and we're going to be crossing it south of the border. Anyways, Linnea, so what's going on?
I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm driving, which you almost never get to see on the vlog, and we're going to stop in I would assume 5 or 6 minutes. We're getting really close.
Yeah. So why are you driving?
Because Robert didn't sleep at all last night. He decided to pull an all-nighter the night before our trip. So that's why. Yeah,
I'm motivated by self-loathing. You know, and I had a lot of self-loathing and anxiety about, I don't know, debilitating perfectionism, and I figured the only way that I would loathe myself even more was by forcing myself to do an all-nighter, and I do loathe myself at this point. But, you know, since I ended up loathing myself more by doing the all-nighter, it worked out in the end. I'm not motivated by ambition, it's all about self-loathing and hating myself. Coming up on south of the border now. We just passed the sign for a bounce house and go-kart track. South of the border is also known for having the largest U.S. reptile exhibit indoors and a bunch of really kind of kitschy, fake Mexican-American kind of gift shops. The premise of this was that back in the day, the nearest county in North Carolina was a dry county, so a guy named Alan Schaefer opened a bar right over the border, and then he went to Mexico and decided to theme it after some towns in Mexico, and then it became the halfway point between Florida and New York City.
There's so many aspects to it. I don't really know where I'm supposed to be stopping, really.
So anyways, we're south of the border. There is a 200-foot tall sombrero viewership station. There's Pedro the Bandito, who is the mascot. Apparently everyone at south of the border is called Pedro, regardless of their gender or ethnicity. Yeah, so anyways, this is wild. Maybe a little bit racist and politically incorrect, but that's South Carolina for you. The birthplace of the American Civil War.
I thought it was going to be classier. I thought it was going to look less, sketchy and, decrepit. I don't know why I expected it to be classier, but I did. I'm disappointed.
They still sell Mad Dog here? I have not seen this stuff since, undergrad. It's like Smirnoff Ice, but worse.
So we have just left the south of the border store. What are your thoughts, Robert?
It was like Buc-ee's, just much, much worse.
I think comparing it to Buc-ee's is sort of strange.
I mean, I've been to better local gas stations.
It was just bad, guys. It was very, kitschy, but, every joke was a bad joke. It was just really bad. But we did get some candy because, you know, we love our candy. So we got some passion fruit saltwater taffy. We also got some grape saltwater taffy. And we got some lemon meringue saltwater taffy. And then, arcing back to my childhood, we got long Laffy Taffies, which I used to, as a child, go get from, I would walk to the gas station.
Turn right.
As a child, I would walk to the gas station with my sisters, and we would buy these for I think back then it was
Use the left lane to merge onto I-95 South.
I think back then it was 25 cents per one. But we got 3. We got grape, apple, and blue. And then Robert also got airheads. But that is everything we got, and we are gonna drive to this restaurant in South Carolina now.
No, Georgia.
In Georgia. It's called Spudnik. Apparently they have spuds. So 10 minutes out from being at south of the border, we saw a sign for Buc-ee's. And I was like, oh my gosh, we went to this terrible place and we could have gotten a freaking Buc-ee's. So we were actually gonna stop at Buc-ee's because we forgot to get water at south of the border because we were supposed to be getting candy. So we'll have to get water at Buc-ee's. And I don't know, I'm kind of disappointed that I peed at south of the border in their sketchy bathroom. I could have freaking peed at Buc-ee's in their super clean bathroom, but I digress. But anyway, by the way, the lemon meringue saltwater taffy and the passion fruit saltwater taffy are both freaking delicious. So good. I have had 2 of each, and I'm not mad about it. Well, I no longer regret the fact that we went to south of the border or the fact that I went to the bathroom there, because honestly, the bathroom smelled weird, but like otherwise it was very clean. And there were so many people at Buc-ee's. It was so busy. Like, I could barely walk, I could barely breathe. Like, people were like waving down their family members because their family members were getting lost in like the throng of people. I think all the people that used to go to south of the border are now going to Buc-ee's. It's just so busy. So busy. Everything had a line. We thankfully did get some water, but that was all. Back on the road. So we have found ourselves on, it's very bumpy, on like a back road because we hit a lot of traffic on the way to Savannah and we needed to find a rest stop. Within the rest stop, like we couldn't get to it, so we like went on all these back roads because of the traffic.
Well, this is somehow faster than sitting in traffic, so we're now in the middle of nowhere getting passed by people doing 80 around blind corners.
Honestly, it's really pretty. I like where we are, but it's a difficult drive because it's very bumpy, so and it's very narrow, so it's a little hard on Robert, so we're hoping we can get out of here soon. So I don't know why every time that I need to use the bathroom on the road, we have some sort of crisis. So basically there was all this traffic, so we were trying to find a place for me to like pee, and we were like kept looking and there were like no rest stops and there were no rest stops. And then we finally found one that was 12 miles away, but like it was taking us on these back roads, and I assumed that it was taking us like forward on the back roads, but it was actually taking us backwards on the back roads, and I didn't realize that. So then we ended up like going backwards to get to this rest stop, which was annoying. And then I had a very traumatic experience trying to use the bathroom at the rest stop. So I always get nervous about bathrooms that are new anyway, but I was in there and the person in the stall next to me got trapped in the bathroom. Apparently like the stall trapped her in there or something. And so she started screaming while I was trying to pee. And she was not screaming, "I am trapped." She was banging on the door and screaming like, "Open the door, open the door, open the door." And she kept screaming it for like the entire time that I was peeing, basically. Like the moment I started peeing, she was like slamming on the door and saying like, "Open the door, open the door, open the door, please open the door." And because she was banging so hard, like this door to my bathroom was banging in, and so it sounded like, and it felt like someone was like banging on my door to my stall saying, "Open the door, open the door, open the door, please open the door." And I was so confused because I was like, why is someone banging on my stall door asking me to open the door while I'm freaking peeing? So I was so, and it went on for like minutes and minutes and minutes, and she was just screaming and screaming and banging on the door. I didn't know what was happening, so I didn't even wipe. I just peed and I pulled up my pants when I opened the door, expecting to see someone out there, but then no one was out there because she was obviously in the stall next to me and I didn't know that, and she was trapped in there. So eventually, like, I just like peed, got out of there, and I went to because one of those wraparound bathrooms with another side, so I went to the other side and like washed my hands on the other side where there was not like a screaming person. But I think like the attendant of the bathroom like let her out or whatever, but it was a whole thing. And now we're like an hour and a half away from getting lunch at this place called Spudnik's, so we will do that. So we are soaking wet and out of breath because it started pouring rain while we were at the potato restaurant. Because of the traffic and everything, we did not get here in time to like hang out in Savannah, but also it's pouring rain, so we wouldn't really been able to walk around and enjoy it anyway. However, the potato restaurant, Spudnik's, was freaking delicious. The potatoes were so good. I think you said it was the best baked potato you'd ever had, right?
Yeah.
Best potato Robert's ever had.
The real question is, can you keep it down on like that Wendy's potato from last Christmas?
I know, I'm nervous, and I have high ambitions because I actually got another potato. So Robert ordered better than me, and it was like a classic one with like the cream cheese and stuff.
Little cheese, sour cream, chives, and bacon.
Yeah, and mine was like kind of
hummus, red pepper, black olive, feta.
Yeah, it wasn't as good. It was good, but not as good. So I got what Robert got because I just couldn't help myself. So hopefully I'll be able to eat it in the car. But if not, you know, it's par for the course. But I have high hopes. Now on to Orlando. Alrighty, so we have made it to Florida. We are only like an hour away from our hotel. And I haven't mentioned this yet on the vlog, but I really should. As of today, we have been married for 365 days. Our 1-year anniversary is tomorrow. And yeah, so it's been a good first year of marriage, I would say. You're not gonna comment on that, Robert?
It's been a great first year of marriage.
The other thing that I've been like meaning to discuss on this vlog is the fact that I'm very nervous about this trip, and I mentioned this in the last video, but given just my health and everything, I'm very nervous about like my endurance and ability to like, you know, be able to do all the things on the trip that I want to do. You know, and to be able to do all the activities with Robert that he has planned, and to be able to do it without feeling too bad, or without being like in pain from like symptoms, or in pain from like my muscle weakness or anything like that. So I am very nervous about that. I was very anxious when I woke up this morning. I almost like, I mean, we're gonna go regardless, but I didn't want to go. I woke up like just so anxious, just thinking about how I didn't want to go, and now that we're almost here, I'm happy that we're going, and it's been fun to do a car trip with Robert, but hopefully it goes well, but I am very anxious about it in general.
I mean, this is a huge shift from Hawaii, where we were going way harder physically.
Yeah, I mean, our honeymoon a year ago, which was our last like big trip, you know, we hiked for 5 hours. We hiked a mountain. And we did a lot of walking, and we just did so much hiking. We hiked Diamond Head, we did all those really active things, so it is quite a departure from where we were a year ago, but that's life, I guess, huh? Just not gonna comment at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, what if I have to help you get around this trip, I'll help you get around this trip.
Thank you, babe.
I'll carry if I need to.
Here's your best. To Robert. So we are in our hotel room. It's like about 11 o'clock. I think it is a little past 11 o'clock. We're both really tired. I'm in a lot of stomach pain and I'm very bloated, so shocker. But in terms of like the dinner at Morimoto Asia, Robert and I were really disappointed. And that's not to say that it was bad. The food was fine, but we went to Morimoto Asia in Hawaii on our honeymoon, and we had an amazing experience there, like 10 out of 10 service. Then like the food was like works of art. Like it was just, the menu was amazing, and the food was like just better than like anything we'd had like almost the whole trip. Aside from the poke and like the traditional Hawaiian food, of course. It was just so good. And then we came here, and it's just like the menu was a lot worse. Like the stuff that we did pick that seemed pretty safe was really overly sweet, like very like Americanized Chinese food, and it just didn't have that same like work of art quality. It just was very greasy, very sugary, just wasn't what I would have thought it was going to be after having the amazing experience at Morimoto Asia in Hawaii. But it's fine, we got food. So I stopped filming really abruptly that night. I'm not sure why. I think Robert just walked into the room and we started talking, and I forgot to finish what I was saying. But basically we had dinner. I didn't feel great. The food wasn't great. I crashed, and the next day we hung out at Universal. So there will be a series of videos about our entire vacation, and we had a lot of fun. We went to Universal Studios, we went to Miami for a few days, and we went to Disney. So stay tuned for those videos to see what else we did on our vacation to Florida.